All good. Okay, this is all good. Hello, everyone. This is Candice on Vake. It's so good to be back with you all. It's been such a long time since I've had my reflections talk. So I think the last time I connected with you was just, I think, about a month ago, if I can remember. So I think that was the last time that I connected with you. And of course, as many of you know, those of you who've been following my series on how to achieve your financial goals in 2021 and beyond, you know that I've been sharing some really good insights, and of course also some insights from the book that I've been reading, From Debt to Riches. And I shared this with you before, as well as some of my personal insights and learnings that I've also learned as far as financial success is concerned. So I hope for those of you who have been listening to the series, I hope that it really was able to bring some value, add some value, and of course help you to move those financial goals forward in 2021 and beyond. So today I am going to be completing the last part of my series, How to Achieve Your Financial Goals in 2021. And this particular part that I'm doing today is how to plan for financial success. So from debt to riches, it's really been part of our main topic that I've covered. And this is what I'm going to be talking about today. But I just want to mention, so if you are joining me now for the first time, or if you've listened to some of the previous parts, that's awesome. But please feel free to engage with me. Please comment, share any insights from your side as well. You're welcome to just add your comments to the chat box. And of course, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also remember to subscribe to the alert. So, as I add new videos from time to time, you'd be able to just also be empowered through some of the insights that I will be sharing with you from time to time. So for those of you who don't know, I am also doing my reflections talk. So the times have changed slightly. So for those of you who want to catch me live, you're able to catch me live every second Saturday at 11. So I'll always aim for 11. So you're welcome to catch me then every second Saturday. And of course, you're able to catch up on my social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, and of course, my YouTube channel as well. So I do them live on Facebook, and then they'll be made available across my YouTube and Instagram pages as well. But awesome. So thanks for joining me today. So I just want to conclude with this part. So as we're planning for financial success in 2021 and beyond, I always like to start out with a scripture. And the scripture that I want to share for today is Proverbs 16, verse 3. And Proverbs 16, verse 3 says, "Commit your actions to the Lord, and your plans will succeed." So you can even say it this way: commit your actions to the Lord, and your financial plans will succeed. So this is taken from the NLT version. And I like how the NIV puts it as well. It says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans." So I read it this way as well. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your financial plans. So plans covers all our plans. But of course, the topic that I'm covering at this time is how to achieve our financial goals. So that's specifically what I'm focusing to. So remember, as we're talking today about how to plan for financial success, it's important to know that as we commit those plans from the beginning, to the Lord, they will be established, they will succeed. I think that's so important. Remember, I've said to you in previous sessions that it's so important to have our rooting in place. We need to ensure that our foundation is solid so that we can just continue building on top of that. Now, today's not going to be very long, ladies and gentlemen. Today is going to be short and sweet. And as I said, it's going to be concluding this session. But I think, for those of you who have taken the time to read the book, maybe this book or similar type of books, this was our book of the month, I believe, was it last month, our book of the month. And of course, I've been sharing some awesome insights from the book. I really think it's an awesome book. It's really got a lot of information, practical information that can help you to actually apply it in your personal life so that you can succeed in those areas. And also just share some really good insights with regards to, some of the facilities that some of us may have in place, credit cards or some of the other facilities, as far as short to medium term debt is concerned. It also talks about property and also how to use your own home, and we've spoken about this, but I'll touch a little bit on that. But I just think, read it, lots of insights that will be able to help you on your journey to financial success. And I really think that everyone, or most people that I know that I've also been talking to, are looking for ways to grow their income, to increase their income. Many people are looking for additional streams of income, multiple streams of income. So I really think that it's an appropriate topic for the times that we are living in. So it's so important to empower ourselves, because if we don't get the right level of knowledge, we won't be able to take the right level of action. So knowledge will support, how we're going to be able to move our goals forward. And I think that's really the rooting and the grounding, is that we need to ensure that we get the right level of information that can really help us to move our goals forward. And that's the information that I choose to spend my attention on, is to spend my time reading material that is able to help me, during this phase or this stage of my life. So yes, so let's get into today. So, as you plan for financial success, I think it's important to know where you are today. So everyone needs to do a check, an assessment, understand where you are today. So what does your credit record look like today? And I think that's important. Some of you may not be familiar with where you can actually pull a credit report, because if you go and you apply for some sort of finance, and whether it's any finance, whether short-term, medium-term, or long-term finance in your personal capacity, then of course the creditors will want to have a look at your credit record. And it's important to ensure, and of course the book also shares how you can look after your credit record. We've spoken about it in previous parts, but it's important to have that starting point. So you need to know what your current situation looks like. And of course, you're able to pull if you're in South Africa, you're able to pull a credit report from mycredit.co.za. If you're not in South Africa, find out, who your credit bureaus are in your country, and then you're able to pull a credit report from these platforms. This is one, and then another one is Experian. So you're also able to pull a credit report from Experian if you are living in South Africa. Now, remember that it's so important to have this information, because you need to know what your starting point is, isn't it? If you're going to be planning for success and you're planning to leverage some of the financial facilities that are available, then of course you need to know what your credit record looks like today. Okay, so just remember that. You are able to pull a credit report from Experian as well as from TransUnion. And I believe that they give us a free credit report per annum. So you're able to get one free credit report per annum on both these platforms. I don't think it's changed in the recent months. And then also, if you want to pull another credit report, maybe, a couple of months down the line, you can do that. But then, of course, there's a fee for that. So, but it's minimal. The fees are very minimal if you just want to see what your status, your credit status looks like. So I really think this is the starting point when it comes to how to plan. And then, of course, we've spoken about a budget. In previous parts, we've spoken about the importance of a budget. So you really need to know what your expenses look like today. So that's very important, and that will incorporate your liabilities as well, where you maybe have home loan facilities in place and that type of thing. So it's important to have a clear view of what your budget looks like. Where is your money being spent every month, or where must it be spent? Maybe some of you have lost your income in the last couple of months, or you've lost some of your income, and maybe you're not able to cover all of your expenses at this time. But the important thing is you still need to have a clear view on, of what that looks like. So, and that's where the budget will play a strategic role. So for those of you who maybe need a budget template to assist you, go onto my website, www. I'll put it on for you as well, so that you can just go onto my website, www.candicevandwyk.com. And I think it should be showing now. Yes. So you'll be able to go onto my website under my resources. you'll be able to then also obtain a free budget template that I've made available. Then that will really just help you, just to work out your personal budget, or at least have a clear view in terms of what your budget looks like. And then in addition to this, remember, I also spoke about the importance of knowing, what interest you are paying against some of the short to medium term debt that you may have in place today, even the long term debt. So talking about your credit cards, your personal loans, maybe home loan facilities, any type of debt that you might have in place today, know what the interest rates are, and of course also the terms are against the various facilities or debt that you have in place. I think that's important to know, because that's going to help you to determine, what is going to be the best way for you to move forward. But you need to have a clear view of what that picture looks like. And now that you have that clear view in place, it's important now for you to know what are the steps that you are going to take in order to grow your income. So what is it that you are going to be doing? I mean, from time to time, I talk about property. Okay, I talk about business. I talk about multi-level marketing, So there are various ways that we are able to pursue so that we are able to grow our income, in addition to maybe having a job today, in addition to maybe just having your business as that only stream of income, or maybe you're self-employed, you're a contract, and that's your only source of income. So there are other things or other strategies that we are able to pursue. And of course, I've mentioned them from time to time, those of you who followed my series. But now, once you have a clear view of what your situation looks like, and remember, we've spoken about goals already and what you want to achieve. Now, what is the gap? So what is that middle part that you need to work towards? So you know what your current situation looks like. You have a clear view on that. You know what the goal is, or what the outcome should be. You have a clear view of that. You also know what the period involved is. So you've given yourself specific timelines in terms of when you want to achieve the various outcomes or the various goals. So everything in between is now what you need to work towards in order to get to that ultimate endpoint. And putting your plan in place and actively pursuing that plan is going to help you to achieve your goals. So it's very important to know that now you need to decide, with all the information that has been made available to you, what strategies are you going to be pursuing in order to help you achieve those financial goals. And some of you may decide to pursue property investing as a strategy. Some of you may decide to put in place additional business ventures. Some of you may decide to maybe pursue multi-level marketing. And some of you have maybe identified other investment strategies that you want to pursue. Some of you may decide that, okay, I'm going to be focusing on one or two strategies at this time. And some of you may just decide to focus on one. But you need to decide, what is that particular strategy that you are going to be pursuing at this time to help you achieve your financial goals. And you have to ensure that you stay the course. And that's really part of planning for financial success. So we have to stay the course, ensure that you put in your best efforts, because if you do not take action, and I'm sure you've heard me say this before, no action, no results. So a lot of people want to achieve financial success, but they're not prepared to do anything about it, or they're not prepared to do something more or something different in order to achieve financial success. So it's going to start with you. It's going to start with you, the individual, taking action and moving your goals forward. And I would also say, people have asked me before, and they've said to me, Candice, I've got multiple business interests at this time. I've got multiple things that I'm focusing on. How do I really decide what is the best focus area? What is the best strategy for me to pursue in order to achieve, my financial goals? And this is what I've asked them. I've asked them, where are you able to see the quickest return in the shortest, or the best return in the shortest period of time? Where are you able to see the best return, best financial return in the shortest period of time? What do I mean by that? So what I'm saying is that if you are to put in some sort of capital investment into the strategy. Doesn't matter what the amount is, but if if you need to put in some sort of capital investment as well as your energy into that particular strategy, when do you expect to see a return, and what type of return will you see? You see, so that's important. So, and that's how, I have been making a lot of my decisions since I have learned about this strategy or this technique or way. So it's about understanding what are the options out there, what is it that you have decided to pursue, but where are you able to see the quickest, the best return in the shortest period of time. And then, of course, for some of the other strategies, you might have to park them in the meantime, because remember, we also can't be everywhere all the time. So you need to decide where you're going to be focused, what you're going to be focusing on, how long you're going to be focusing on that area for, and then ensure that you actively pursue that strategy so that you can achieve your goals. And remember, everyone's journey is different. For some of you, you may focus on a particular investment strategy for a certain period of time and then move on to the next strategy and the next strategy. Some of you may decide that this is going to be a strategy that you're going to be pursuing for the long term, some of you for the medium term, so we all have different goals, we all have different ambitions, but at the end of the day, it's about understanding where you are, understanding where you want to be, what's going to help you get there, what strategies are going to help you get there, and then decide which strategies you are going to be pursuing in order to help you achieve your goals, and then ensure that you actively pursue those strategies so that you can ultimately achieve your goals. And if you drop the ball, along the journey, just ensure that you just pick it back up and you just continue. So I think really that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. We all have our financial goals, and I believe that most people, if not everyone, want to move to a place where they can be financially successful and have all of their debt covered. And like I said to you, start with sorting out the bad debt first before you move on to the good debt. I've spoken about bad debt versus good debt. So sort out the bad debt first, and also remember where are you, and this is really my personal recommendation. So just remember that I'm sharing from my personal insights, and look at, what is the most expensive bad debt that you have at this time, and then work towards settling that as you start achieving your financial goals along your path and along your journey. So I really think those are just some of the insights that I wanted to share with you today as we plan for financial success. And really, I wish you all massive success in 2021 and beyond. Don't give up, don't quit, and keep going, and you will achieve your goals. And remember that it's important to take massive action. So no action, no results. So it's important for us to take action if we want to achieve our goals. And that's really just what I wanted to share with you today. And I hope that was insightful and really just encouraging some of you, just to take action. And remember, renew your minds, read books. For those of you who are not reading, I'm still old school, so I still find that the best way for me to read is still to read a hard copy. I feel that's the best way that I learn, because I'm able to, stop and think about it. I'm able to make notes. I'm able to write down some of my thoughts, as I'm reading. So for me, generally, my reading takes a little bit longer than maybe most people, but that's because I really reflect on it. I make some notes and I action some of it, as I read the book. So that's how I and I really enjoy doing that. So I spend my time, when I'm working through a particular book, because why? I want that renewal of the mind. I need to have the right mindset shift. I need to empower myself with information, with the right knowledge that can help me achieve my goals. So it's important for me to ensure that I spend, time on it, understanding it, so that I'm able to use those learnings and experiences and actually go out there and apply it to my situation. So I would really encourage you, find material that talks to where you are today and where you want to be, and allow yourself then to become empowered or more empowered as you spend time reading the various material. If you decide you want to listen to audiobooks, all good. We all have our own learning style, but for me personally, I find that the best way is still to do it the way that I've just shared with you. So the next book that I'm going to be sharing with you, and of course for those of you who also have subscribed to my newsletter, you will be to my newsletter, my website, you'll be able to see the next newsletter. And for those of you who haven't, please subscribe to my newsletter. I really share some awesome insights in my newsletters as well. I do them on a monthly basis. And the next book of the month will be Faith Like Potatoes, because I also feel that for me personally, this is really where I'm at. I've got massive goals that I'm pursuing at this time. And also I need to ensure that my faith levels remain up, so it's always good to also get inspiration, from other people who have been applying their faith. And this is Angus Buchan. I'm sure many of you have heard of him. I think there was a TV program or a movie actually on the book Faith Like Potatoes. And yeah, I believe you'll be able to get some good insights. But of course, I will be sharing on this in my next reflections talk with you, just sharing some insights there as I've started. I actually read the book before, but I'm reading it again. So I'll be sharing with you some insights there as well. So awesome. So that's just what I wanted to share with you. If you've got any comments, any questions, please do feel free to engage with me. If you also need to connect with me from time to time, you're welcome to also email me on info@candicevandwyk.com. All of the details are on the website. And remember, also read my reflections blogs from time to time, because that's also where I share additional information on a lot of the topics that I cover on my reflections talks. I really just expand a little bit more and I share some more insights. I have a lot of resources that I've also made available via my website that can also help you along your journey to success in every area of your life. So please do stay connected and engage with me from time to time, and then also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you, and wishing you massive, massive success as you move your financial goals forward. Goodbye for now, and we'll catch up soon.